Hey everybody, I'm Annie Catabriga Alosa. I'm a psychic medium and a soul guide, and I create tools and experiences that help you connect to your own soul's wisdom. I offer personal readings. I sell the Rainforest Wisdom deck, which is the oracle card deck that I created. And I also am guiding a retreat in September, which is still open for registration. So all of these links can be found on my page if you're interested in diving into my work. And as usual, I've drawn one card from the Rainforest Wisdom deck this week. I haven't looked at the energy theme. Let's see what we got. Guys, 3 weeks in a row? That, I don't know if that's, maybe it's happened before once. I don't even know, but that is just baffling. 3 weeks in a row with this Tarsier, the Solitude card, which is so bizarre, but also like, okay, I guess we need more information here. Let's go in with this Tarsier energy and see what we can get. A lot of us are really close to a breakthrough here. And even if we feel like we've already spent time reflecting, integrating, being alone, being intentional about what it is that we want to create with our lives or whatever is going on with us that needs attention, a breakthrough is coming, but it requires a little bit more time. It requires a little bit more work. And so we're being asked to not give up and to not stop before we get to that place where something shifts. This is interesting. They're saying that for some of us, all of the work that we've been doing has been mental. It's been thinking and trying to figure things out with our brains. And our guides are pointing to our bodies as being the signals for gathering information and for bringing wisdom in this week. And it could be very helpful to do some body movement in order to help us get a breakthrough. Let me look at that a little bit more. This is really interesting. Moving our bodies in ways that we haven't moved them before. And oftentimes when we do something like that, we want to be alone. But maybe not. Maybe maybe it's a class, whatever. But it could be really helpful to spend some time alone, moving our bodies or doing something with our bodies that we don't usually do. Yeah, this could happen in a way where once we get out of our own way mentally, like we get out of our heads and into our bodies for a little while, there could be a spontaneous inspiration, burst of ideas or something that drops in that feels like something that we didn't think of, but was rather kind of just like given to us from something wiser than us. Maybe it's our soul speaking to us. It feels like it can't be forced, but if we can make the space and then the time for these kinds of opportunities to happen, that's what we're being asked to do this week. Mm-hmm. So getting out of our heads and getting into moving our bodies and also being clear about how it is that we want to feel and giving ourselves opportunities this week to get into that feeling, get into a feeling place that feels good. But first, be clear about how we want to feel and then ask ourselves how we create those opportunities this week to feel the way that we want to feel. So if anybody relates to this feeling right now of having been hustling or grinding to try to make things work or to try to figure things out, it's this pushing energy that has been moving us forward in some area of our lives. And our guides are saying, this is the time to stop pushing for a minute and just allow it to be and see what happens. Mm-hmm. If it feels like we've been trying to push a boulder up a hill somewhere, our guides are saying this probably isn't sustainable for us, and there's probably a different way to go about this kind of, get to the goal or to get to a goal. And I think what our guides want for us is to ask ourselves what it is that we want to feel at the end of this push, right? How do we want to feel? Not what do we want, not how much money do we want to make, or like what's it going to look like on paper, but how do we imagine ourselves feeling when we have accomplished whatever it is that we're grinding toward, and ask ourselves if that feeling is accessible in other ways in our life, but in ways where we can slow down and stop that pushing for a while and just be and allow that feeling to come in and just embody that feeling, get out of our heads, get into our bodies, slow down, spend a little bit of time alone, and see what happens. All right, everybody, have a great week. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.